Hi, I'm new to YouTube, and I do have an Instagram account. It's also SketcherKid1234, and I did want to share some of my art. I work in mainly watercolor, and I'm trying to get into urban sketching. Here are some of my paintings. I started in 2022, so that's around 4 years ago. This was a painting from 2022, and this is a painting from 2026. So, as you can see, quite an improvement, and I'm really happy with my progress. And I'm always learning and wanting to learn new styles and techniques. Here's a giraffe I did, a flower I painted for my mother, and here's another older painting of a lighthouse. As you can see, I have improved a lot with shadows, as the shadows here are really crude, I can say. So this is one of my more recent sketchbooks. This is one of the views from my window, and I'm quite happy with this. I did a sketch of this building probably a month or two before this, when I just got into urban sketching, and as you can see, the proportions of the roof and in general the proportions of this house have really improved. As you can see here, it looks just better. Here are some other urban sketches I did from my trip to Albania, and I'm happy with how they turned out. I really like it, and this one is my least favorite. I don't know, I went wrong with the color, and it just it made me really frustrated, I must say. I think I have a couple more in this sketchbook. So this was just painted like I was in my room from a picture reference, and this is the Peggy Guggenheim Museum in New York. A sketch of my dog, and this was a view from my school. I did it probably during one of the earlier classes when I was really bored and didn't really know what to do with my time. Another urban sketch, also one of my earlier ones. As you can see, the color and the shadows are kind of off. A painting of a swan. Quite happy with how that one turned out. And yeah, so the supplies I use most, well, watercolor wise, I usually use my Rosa Gallery set, which I got I can say recently, probably in like a month or two ago. And these are artist grade, so they're a bit higher quality. And this Lucas set, which I've had for a while longer, probably around half a year. And as you can see, it's well used and well worn. But it's comfortable because it's plastic, and you can just chuck it in your bag and pretty much forget about it. And this was my first watercolor set. So in here I have a whole variety. I have a mix of 15 Van Gogh watercolors, 9 Daler-Rowney watercolors, and 1 Winsor Newton, this one, the new Gamboge. Otherwise, these two are student quality, the Lucas and this set. This, I really like it when I'm painting at home, but compared to these two sets, it's just inconvenient when it comes to travel. It's large, it's bulky, and it's heavy. So it just doesn't feel right. This one, it's nice. It's a bit thicker than this one. It's probably twice as thick and quite a bit heavier. Here we have full pans, which you can see they're quite big. And so they do hold a lot of color, and the pigment is more concentrated, and these are monopigmented, so they you can mix them a lot easier. This, on the other hand, is a student set. It doesn't have it's not monopigmented. It does come with a brush though, and it's plastic, and it's a lot lighter. So it might be a bit longer, but it is thinner and lighter, so you just chuck it in and no fear. In here I should have 2 more sketches This is a sketch I did on my recent trip to Gdansk in Poland, from the Airbnb. It was a nice view, and I was quite happy with how it turned out, except the text here. I was trying to get it, but just didn't want to happen. And this is also a view from the Airbnb. I'm not sure what building this was, probably some old town building, but turned out kind of nice. I went too saturated with the roof here, so the reds had to be as saturated, and this blob kind of happened, but I'm happy that I at least created something on the trip. So these are all the Lucas colors. As you can see, they're not as bright as the Rosa Gallery. The Rosa Gallery are a lot brighter, but I do find I reach for these when traveling, but these they just feel nicer. And the price-wise, this one was probably around 18 euros, and this one was just a bit more, I think at around 24.